Imagine that you're riding on a boat and someone keeps making holes on your boat. Doesn't matter how hard you try, you would be drowning sooner or later. It's not a flow of energy, it's just the energy is going to one side of the relationship and it dies there. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Setare. I have my bachelor's and master's in biological sciences, and it's been years that I teach human anatomy and physiology and also general biological sciences at the college level. I'm also very interested in holistic medicine and traditional wisdom in this regard. I take courses on herbalism, traditional medicine, and natural health. And I try to combine all these things, the modern science and also traditional wisdom and holistic medicine, to come up with practical solutions to elevate our daily lives. Let's start today's video with a quote by Albert Einstein. He says, "Stay away from negative people. They have problem for every solution." In the last video, I talked about 3 things that are important to have to start your journey to become your best version. One of them is a supportive mindset and mental room. The other one was getting more motivation or inspiration by a book or a person or a video, something that gives you extra help and support. And the third one was patience. These things that you need to have to start your journey to become your best version and to be able to do it successfully. When I talk about success, I don't refer to any external situation. That is actually an internal feeling, an internal satisfaction that tells you you are where you should be, where you're supposed to be, where you are created to be. Based on your unique being, you define your success, you define the meaning of satisfaction and a happy life, and you move toward it. The process of becoming your best version is very similar to gardening. You have in your mind to have a beautiful garden because it's beautiful, it's beneficial, it gives you fruits, vegetables, beautiful plants that can support you in different ways. It gives you relaxation, it gives you joy, and because of all these things, you want to have that garden. The beginning part of the process can be very challenging because sometimes you still don't see any differences. You have planted your seeds and you water them, you take care of them, you support them, but still changes are very tiny. They are happening inside the seeds at the chemical and cellular level. You still cannot see anything, you cannot feel anything. So it is easy to become demotivated, to lose hope, to lose motivation, and give up the whole process. During this challenging time, you need to try your best to get motivation and inspiration from every resources possible, from internal resources and external. Internally, you need to work on your mindset, you need to repeat your goal, and you need to talk to yourself to keep that motivation and hope. And also you need help and support from external resources, like from people that are around you, from books that you are reading, from movies that you are watching. All these things can be affecting you in a good way or in a bad way. And because of that challenging time, you need to avoid all those negative resources that decrease your motivation, anything that is harming your inspiration, anything that makes you disappointed and hopeless, because at that time it's very easy to lose hope. Staying away from negative people or pessimistic people is very important, especially in this sensitive phase. It is always important, but especially that time that you still don't get any support from your plants and your garden, and it's just you giving yourself motivation and hope, you need to stay away from anything that decreases the hope, anything that harm your motivation or make it easier for you to lose your hope. So as Albert Einstein says, you need to stay away from negative people because they will give you negative energy. Some people do it intentionally because maybe they are jealous, maybe they are unhappy that they haven't reached their goal or satisfaction. But many people do it not intentionally. They just do it because it's part of their being. Maybe they need some work on themselves and they haven't done that yet. So they are on survival mode. Probably you have heard that we are a summation of few people that we are spending our time with them, like the majority of our lives are spent with them, and we are their summation, which means that what you have is basically summation of all those effects. Any energy level that is around you and it's very close to you can affect you either in a good way or in a bad way. So imagine that you're trying to become a better version of yourself, trying to move through your days at a higher level with elevated level of energy, and someone is decreasing that level of energy. There are some people very close to us. We know that they love us and we love them too, but they still can be negative. They can give you negative energy unintentionally, and you need to minimize those relationships or those effects. You need to find ways to increase the elevated energy, increase the positive energy, maybe spending more time with people who have the same mindset as yours, and spend less amount of time with those people who give you negative energy, because that minimizes the effect of that negative energy. The saying that goes, your friend should be always better than you, doesn't really make sense to me, because imagine that if you're looking for a better friend, what about that friend? If that person is better than you, so that person deserves a better person than you. That is not a matter of being better or worse. You need to find someone who has the same path. If you find someone that has the same mindset as yours or closer mindset to you, and someone who's taking the same path, definitely it makes everything easier. It's all about being matched, not being better or worse, because we are unique, we have different needs, we define the meaning of lives in different ways, and if that is matched, then it makes life easier, more joyful, and more satisfying. Positive people usually try to find positive things in different situations. Like same thing happens to a positive person versus a negative person. The positive person tries to see some beauties or redefine it or try to find some meaning in that situation. The negative person would say that I knew that always bad things happen, and they don't see anything useful in that. Maybe it's not beautiful, but at least useful. Negative people don't see that beauty or meaning in different areas, and that will affect you. Doesn't matter how hard you try, it will affect you automatically. Any two systems that are close to each other, you can think of atoms, molecules, human bodies, all those systems, when they get close to each other, when they spend lots of time together, they affect each other. People who always complain decrease your level of energy. Doesn't matter how hard you work, still they will have that negative effect on you. And if that person is very close to you, if you're spending lots of time with that person, the effect will be bigger and bigger. After a while, you will find yourself complaining about situations, about your relationship, about whatever. Then you start to feel that you are a victim. Imagine that you want to inflate a colorful, beautiful ball. You try hard and you're trying to inflate it, and someone who's living close to you or who's living with you is making holes in the ball. So it doesn't matter how hard you work, you won't reach your goal because of that person. Same thing on your path to become your best version. If a negative person close to you, someone who has a big effect on you because you're spending most of your time with, they will decrease your level of energy, they will decrease your motivation, inspiration. Again, not because they are mean, not because they intentionally want to do that to you. It's because maybe they haven't started to work on themselves, so that is the way that they live or they think. Some people, when you try to help them, when you try to give them hope and motivation and inspiration, they cooperate, and then you will see that flow of energy. You help that person and that person helps you back, because we are all humans, we have ups and downs. Some days we are very motivated and inspired, some days we are low and we need motivation. So that good partnership is that sometimes you give energy to that person, sometimes that person gives you more energy. So it's a flow of energy. But in some relationships, you see that it's just one way direction. Your energy goes to that person's and dies. Your energy doesn't come back to you. It's not a flow of energy. It's just the energy is going to one side of the relationship and it dies there. It doesn't come back. And if it comes back, it's in a negative form, especially for pessimistic people who are used to complain or see more bad things, negative things, and it doesn't help you and it doesn't give you energy. So that would be an imbalanced relationship that definitely will harm you, and you need to either cut it or at least minimize it. Consider your being as your kingdom or queendom. You are the king or queen of your land, of your being, and you want to rule it in a proper way. You want to have a great kingdom, and for that you need to be supportive. You need to pay attention to your subjects, which are your cells and everything that is making up your land, your kingdom or queendom. And to support your being, you need to be honest and straightforward. Self-awareness and honesty are very important. You should be always aware of your internal and external environment. You should be aware of the way different things and different people affect you. And you should be honest. You shouldn't fool yourself. If you see that someone is decreasing your level of energy, if someone is giving you negative energy, people who are pessimistic, people who don't have the growth mindset, you should minimize that relationship. To become your best version, you need to take responsibility of your life at all levels. You need to be that supportive queen or king who supports the subjects and the whole kingdom. If someone is hurting the people or your subjects or your cells, your whole being, you need to avoid that person. And you shouldn't allow yourself to stay in that relationship because you think that it would be mean, or you think that maybe that person judges you in a bad way. It doesn't matter. You need to first take care of your own kingdom or queendom. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I will see you in the next video next week.